Good evening, everyone. Well, we're in for a pretty exciting night. We'll see a number of players acknowledged throughout the evening for their efforts throughout the season. We'll see some tremendous highlights from what was a pretty good year. Well, most of the year was pretty good anyway. There'll be more glamour, courtesy of the players' wives and girlfriends, and of course our guests here this evening. And we'll also see the crowning of the 2003 Adelaide Football Club champion. It's going to be a tremendous evening, and to help me throughout the night, please welcome James Brayshaw and KG.
Good on you, Kimbo. Feeling pretty happy with myself too when I turned up until you rolled up, Cage. You've just stolen my thunder, looking resplendent as always. It's a big night, this one, a ripping award. Who do you like?
Well, I like Mark Rashido, obviously. James has had a wonderful season. He's our captain, and I think he'll start warm for him. But I think there'll be a couple...
Don't go too far out on a limb there, Cut.
No, I'm about to say, I think Tyson Edwards, being a West Adelaide player, of course, has had a wonderful year. Hasn't played a bad game all year. And I think Mark Bickley will also poll extremely well. But I'll go for Roo. There you go. How about that?
He's a man that knows his footy, Kimbo. Back to you.
Thanks very much, James. Well, joining me now is the CEO of the Adelaide Football Club, Stephen Trigg. And Stephen, I mentioned it was a pretty good year until about round 20.
Yeah, the top four position was the killer for us, wasn't it? And I think it's a great example of how important it is to finish in the top four. If you drop out, as we did, we made a mess of it at the end and paid the penalty. We had to go up to Brisbane and played the eventual premier. So I can tell you that our aim for next year already is to finish in that top four position.
Do you walk away with any positives after 2003?
Oh, certainly. There are always plenty of positives in a footy season. For us, we're aiming always to make the finals, and we did that again this year for the third year in a row, which was important. We had a Wizard Cup premiership and, of course, a Brownlow medalist to cap it off. So that was a great way to finish and a very proud way for the club to finish the year.
Certainly was. Well, the Adelaide Football Club receives wonderful support from South Australia.
All over the place, from the little sign over my shoulder there before at Toyota through to all of our partners and the 50,000 members, great supporters, people watching tonight on television. We enjoy great support. It's an opportunity for us tonight, Kim, to say thank you to all of them.
Adelaide Football Club CEO Stephen Trigg, and Stephen, we'll catch up with you a little later in the evening.
Thank you, Kim.
Time now to pop back down to KG. He's with Adelaide Crows assistant coach Neil Craig, and they're going to explain the voting process for tonight's count.
Thank you, Kimbo. And Neil, the voting for the club champion is a little different than the McGarry and Brownlow. Can you explain the actual format and how it's done?
Yeah, Ken. Gary and the other three assistant coaches, we get the opportunity to allocate up to 4 votes per player, depending on who we choose, varying from if we believe they've beaten their opponent, we give them 1 point. If they've played an outstanding game, we can give them 4 votes.
So it's a maximum of 1 to 4 votes.
Yep.
Now, you're obviously privy to what's happened through the year, Craigie. I know you won't give too much away, but will we see a sort of a little smoky half rush at the count or not?
Well, you could, because it wouldn't surprise me if the votes have been tampered by Barry Downs. He's what goes in.
He's a good West Adelaide man. Come on, Craigie.
Well, I guess that's the hint, Ken, so look for someone that's come from West Adelaide.
OK, Kimbo, get on someone from West Adelaide. Go Tyson Edwards!
Thank you to Neil Craig and KG. Well, let's get the count underway as we take a look at the highlights from round 1 to 4.
Releases McManus, who got that last goal. Goes down towards half forward. Longmuir in best position. Well, initially, but Hart...
With the Wizard Cup tucked safely in the trophy cabinet, the quest for premiership points got off on the right note at Amy Stadium. spot. Perry in best position. Bode flew as well. Perry picks it up, can't get the handball off. Bode, Tyson Edwards, goal.
Votes for the workers in a good win. Bode, Stengline, Bassett and Laddams sharing the honours with McLeod. Also prominent, Stevens and Rasciuto with 7 goals between them.
Kira goes back, almost the mark too. Philip Matera dragged down brilliantly by Beckley.
An awesome third term from the excitement machine. Andrew McLeod proved too much for the Eagles at Amy Stadium in round.
Just clarify something. Neil Craig mentioned before the maximum votes a player can receive is 4. That is from each coach. There are 4 coaches, so the maximum votes are 16 that a player can receive. Okay, let's go down to James Brayshaw now, who's with one of the most animated backmen in the business.
Thanks for that, Kimbo. You mentioned the word evergreen. Nathan Bassett with a green shirt on tonight. What, the dry cleaning's gobbled up the team uniform, mate?
The team uniform's not looking too flash, mate. It's out there somewhere, but I'm not sure where.
Interview earlier in the year with Barry Hall said that you were one of the toughest defenders he gets to stand on. That's a fairly big compliment.
A couple of good-looking heads between us. So, yeah, look, we have a bit of fun each time we stand on each other, have a bit of a chat to him, and we get along all right.
You work on a fairly cerebral level, the two of you. You've got a nice tie in there.
I keep it down to grunts. Yeah, no, it goes all right.
What's with the fungus on the face just as we let you go? You're trying to get some beard work going there?
Well, I thought I'd start now, and hopefully by round 1 I'll have a beard.
All right, Freddie, congratulations on a ripping year. We're going to go to a break. Plenty more after this.
Monday, meet an all-new breed of survivor. The winner takes all, the loser loses everything, and someone wants out.
I want to go home.
With twists that'll leave you breathless. All-new Survivor Pearl Island, 9:30 Monday on 9.
I'll have a Dolmio pasta pack. I think it's at the back.
Target until Wednesday. You can get 20% off men's, women's and kids' pants, excluding underwear and sleepwear.
Hey, that's mine. Okay, for the best in movies, head down to your local Network videologist. See, here's the thing. At Network, the guy who runs the show actually owns it. So, you can always grab new movies, video or DVD. Hey, the Network guys really know the business, and that's why they're called videologists. Why do you come to Network? So do yourself a favour, get down to Network Video, my home entertainment experts. I could really take my hat off to these guys. Well, maybe not the hat.
Keith Bowden Electrical delivers on Panasonic.
Panasonic inverter microwave ovens deliver true variable power for even food temperature. And Keith Bowden delivers Panasonic to you when you want it, free of charge. But best of all, we always deliver on price.
You keep coming back. Keep coming back.
go, darling.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. To see for yourself just how good a roof made from Colorbond steel will look on your home, visit Mawson Lakes Display Village, Mawson Lakes Boulevard, Mawson Lakes.
I enjoy a very busy life, and luckily I also enjoy good health. This bracelet can identify me in case of an emergency, whether I'm travelling overseas or interstate. Medical Alert is the only medical identification and information system that offers 24-hour service, and it's endorsed by the Australian Medical Association. It's recognised worldwide. Join Medical Alert. This is the bracelet that really counts when you need it, with backup service and support from Australian medical and health professionals.
Better watch out, because the boys are back in town.
You're gonna be a father! What do you say?
Mel Gibson, Danny Glover in the all-action blockbuster.
Beautiful!
Lethal Weapon 4, 9:45 tonight on 9.
Adelaide, Prosciutto, one vote.
Wanganeen, the centre-half forward. Prosciutto will go back with courage and stand underneath it. Take a wonderful pass.
This is Massey. Bit off more than he can chew. Got it to the skipper. The skipper loads it up. Prosciutto. Going. He's brought the house down.
And from the Adelaide Football Club, please welcome railway veteran Mark Prosciutto.
A great night for South Australia, a great night for the Adelaide Football Club, and an unbelievable moment for Mark Prosciutto. Please show your appreciation. And we'll be talking to Mark a little later in the evening. As we go to the highlights now from rounds 5 to 8.
Adelaide inside, they're attacking 50 now.
West End Showdown 13 brought with it the usual hype attached to the local derby and a record AFL crowd at Amy Stadium.
With 9 minutes to go. Burns, cleverly done. To Gallagher. Gallagher 85 from goal goes short. He's got a boy inside 50. And it is Tyson Edwards.
The Crows coming hard in the second half and at one stage narrowing the margin to 7 points, but that was as close as they got, eventually going down by 2 goals.
6 minutes remaining. Kick on its way. Looks pretty good.
Behind it. And the margin is 7.
Not a memorable result. The good performances from Johncock, Burns, Bickley and Stengline. Smart, Hart, Perry and Gallagher collecting the last of the votes.
Bickley on the wing. Bellwood's half forward. Hale in best position from behind. Perry's onto his back. No doubting that. Terry's got the football. He's got the advantage. What? Perry goes in. Terry kicks the goal. How about that?
The much-awaited Friday night clash between the Kangaroos and the Crows was one that just couldn't be missed. The King, against his old side, kicked the first and conducted himself well in what was a tough match for a number of reasons. Great result for the Crows, though, running out 54-point winners.
A big match and some big voting, with the engine room dominating. Among the emotion, Kerry's 4 goals also attracted votes.
Round 7 served up one of the heartbreakers of season 2003. Hosting the Pies at Amy Stadium, the Crows led all night, hit the post 5 times, and lost after Chris Tarrant kicked a goal after the siren.
Time left, yes. For a score one way or the other. Brilliant mark, attacking it was Crowd. Now Stengline, quick kick out of the pack to half forward. There's Clement. Here's Ronnie. Ronnie Burns on the left. Has kicked a goal. Ronnie's got 4.
Burns and Carey each kicked 4 and topped the voting along with Prosciutto. McLeod's 2 goals, enough to sneak in a vote.
Adelaide have got a few more numbers, and he can keep going laterally, and he does. A bit too high, though. Oh, great work from Laddams. He beat 2 there, and he could finish it off with a beauty. Deserves a goal and hit the post.
Always tough to travel to Brisbane, and despite having the better of the reigning premiers for much of the journey, in the end the home side's composure, especially in front of goals, was the difference. An 18-point loss, the end result.
To get the Crows back to 7 points. Trots in and kicks a goal.
2 goals to Perry and Edwards earned them top votes, with Bickley still showing early season form. Last year's champion Ben Hart recognised for his efforts in the back line. And after 8 rounds, we have a new leader. Age shall not weary them. Mark Bickley on the top of the leaders board with 65 votes. Andy McLeod still there in 2nd position. Mark Rasciuto's 3rd. Matthew Clark making a move into 8th position. Also Ronnie Burns. As we go over the page, Simon Goodwin there. And we take a look at Wayne Carey into 11th position. Nathan Bassett, whom we spoke to just a moment ago. And also Ian Perry, the Sarge, making a slight move there as well. Well, one footballer that whet the appetite of all South Australian football fans was Wayne Carey. He's with James Brayshaw now.
Good on you, Kimbo. I'm rubbing shoulders with the superstars here. I've got the King, Wayne Carey. What's it like back in South Australia? You've had about a year at it. You enjoying yourself?
No, I am, mate. It's been good. A little bit frustrating at the start, but no, it's a great place, Adelaide. Really enjoying it.
What about the first couple of games? The crowd that Kim Dillon just alluded to just took you to their bosom, Wayne, because when you were here with the North Melbourne Footy Club, they didn't dig you too much, but as soon as you ran out in the 3 colours, it was on for young and old. Yeah, no, I was fortunate enough to play a state game in '92 and knew the passionate support that the Adelaide people give their own, and they did surprise me, but no, it's been fantastic. Tried to take out one of our point posts at one stage there as well, just ripped a chunk out of the knee. Yeah, a bit frustrating at that stage, but oh no, looking forward to a good night, and good to see the old fellas up on top at this stage. What about your body? I mean, so much has been spoken about your ability to recover and all the rest of it. How are you feeling with a full season under your belt? Yeah, look, it took me probably halfway through the year to get the body, you know, 100%. So looking forward to next year. I've said that it'll probably be my last year, so give it a crack, and hopefully there can be another old fella sitting here on top of the leaderboard next year. What does the next 2.5 to 3 weeks hold for you, Wayne? Are we just going to ease off on a footy trip, or are we going to stay local? What are you up to? No, not going on the footy trip, mate. You get to a stage in your life where you've got to mature. So I'm actually heading off over to the States just to relax, and catching up with Sally over there in a couple of weeks. So no, it should be fun. All right, Wayne, well, we appreciate you taking the time to join us, and the honesty as well that you at least answered that last question with. A ripping season. Great to have you playing for Adelaide, and enjoy the remainder of the night. Cheers. Wayne Carey there. We're going to a break, back with plenty more after this.
Hey! 5:30 Saturday on a special Out of the Blue.
Hi, I'm Emma Forster. Please join Michael Angelakis and Michael Keelan and myself as we travel around Malaysia and taste all of the wonderful flavours on Out of the Blues, Malaysia.
5:30 Saturday on 9.
I'll have a Dolmio pasta pack. I think it's at the back.
This is Murray. Say hello, Murray. This long weekend, why would Murray sell petunias for 80 cents, 6-foot crocus, not 35.15, huge bungalows, not 45.25? This long weekend, why would Murray sell golden canes, not $12, $3, Kentias, not $12, $3, bungalows, not $13, $4? Why would Murray sell all his plants this long weekend for next to nothing? Murray's a little... 1246 South Road, Clovelly Park, 1246.
Welcome to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Perfect.
When the whole world is threatened, Sean Connery must unite the powers of 5 legends.
Cheers.
Into one extraordinary force.
Let's put it to the test.
Whoa. I just had it. Discover an adventure in a league of its own.
That was naughty.
Sean Connery.
The league is set. The game is on.
This year, the legends come to life. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Why should we support Heron? Heron keeps all profits in the country.
Why send jobs overseas?
Take the Heron. It's Australia's own pain reliever.
Wait for it, wait for it. This Saturday, thousands of dollars of furniture will be sold at half price. Bedding will be sold at half price. Carpet and rugs will be sold at half price. This Saturday only. Look on you.
Love is at the corner.
Just hold me, make me tell you I'm in love with you.
Double hopped Sterling, the beer lover's light.
Are you going to give any of your clients their money back, Mr. Robertson?
When Adelaide needs to know,
It has a job, but no takers.
a current affair has it covered.
We've got too much shark and human interaction. Get out of Adelaide. You are terrorists.
Local or national. Standing up for things that are right.
Things I worry about the most is the teasing, the picking on.
Recognising people who really make a difference.
Laughter and happiness is something that makes us feel better.
That's what a current affair is all about.
6:30 weeknights on 9.
Amazing. Clark farming with purpose. Goodwood, Corney. Suddenly the Crows are going. Adams, who's been great. Here we go. Comes in from the boundary, perhaps to win the game. Deliberate, check side.
Onto the end of the handball. Long ball up forward. Goodwin couldn't take it. At the back, this is Perry. Onto that left foot around the corner. Good goal. Ball not to Goodwin. Chip kick from him, but hard forward. Thanks for Mike. Well done. Inside 50. Did he put them in front? Yes. McLeod, he knows how to play big games. Long drop punt from just outside 50. 9 points to the two-time North Smith medalist. Marking targets up forward. Carey, could he be the man? Rolling around his buddies. He knows where they are.
The Wizard Cup is going to Adelaide.
Joining me now, Adelaide Crows senior coach Gary Ayres, and the Wizard Cup. It was a nice way to start the season.
Yeah, it was, Kim, and obviously the preparation that you need for the season proper, I think, is always pretty important, and the guys certainly did a pretty good job.
Now, I mentioned to Stephen Trigg a little earlier, the season was going along swimmingly until about round 20. How do you assess that?
Oh, certainly. I think we'd been in pretty good form for probably 5 or 6 months, so the last month was certainly disappointing, and I think there are a few reasons why. We obviously ran into some problems with injuries and some guys fell away in form, and we probably just couldn't get our right structure together, and I think that's important going in a final series, and it probably showed with Collingwood and Brisbane when you lose 1 or 2 key players how much of a difference it makes to your structure, and Brisbane were pretty good that day. So, you know, again, we just need to make sure we keep our side together to be a really effective side.
There were a lot of expectations, and there was a lot of hype about the Crows' chances this year. What do you walk away with as a coach after 2003?
Oh, they were pretty competitive, really, for most part of the year, and the losses that we had were certainly small losses by margins. And I think the thing that we build on here is competitiveness, and I think really if you talk about 28 games, I think probably 26 of those I feel were pretty competitive. So that gives you a good launching pad. And some of the kids we played this year too, I think is pretty exciting for the future. And obviously Rue's Brownlow medal win at the end of the year was certainly a nice fill-up for the last couple of weeks.
Well, we look forward to 2004. Now, stay with us. A little earlier in the night, the Coaches Award was awarded, and the winner was Robert Shirley. Now, just tell us, Gary, what does it take to receive, what's the criteria for receiving such recognition from you?
Oh, certainly to be in my best good books every week, mate, you know. So No, look, Robbie got delisted at the end of last year, and we always had planned to put him back on, and he did exceptionally well early to just hold his nerve and keep good form with the Eagles, and he certainly got rewarded with his last probably 13 games. And really his capabilities and abilities and the jobs that he does every week and the hardness with which he approaches his footy and how he competes was certainly all instrumental in him getting that award.
Well, Gary, thanks for joining us. All the best for 2004. James Brayshaw is now with the winner of the Coaches Award, and that is Robert Shirley.
Thank you, Kimbo. This is a very, very dangerous table. This one I've managed to split Robert up from his partner Meg just for a second. Very handsome young man, Robert. Now listen here. What do you do to win the Coaches Award, mate? Do you just carry the bag in for Gary? You wait till he parks his car and then lump his stuff in with you into the rooms?
Yeah, all those things, mate, including coffees and biscuits and things like that. So, yeah, it all helps.
Terrific year on a serious note, though. You must be really pleased with the progress you made.
Yeah, definitely, mate. No, it's been good. Get an opportunity halfway through the year and then be lucky enough to take it. So it's been good, yeah.
What are the areas that you personally need to improve to grow as a footballer?
I think there's plenty to improve on, mate. So, I don't know, there's lots of things, so couldn't mention them all.
Wayne Carey just mentioning earlier that he's not going to head off on the footy trip. What about yourself? A young man, you'd be champing at the bit to get to Sydney, wouldn't you?
No, looking forward to it, mate, next week, so I can't wait.
All right, Robert. Well, terrific chatting to you. Congratulations on your award. We'll head back to Kim.
Thanks, James, and congratulations, Robert. As we now approach the halfway mark of the season, let's take a look at the highlights from rounds 9 to 12.
Handball back. This is Massey. Bit off more than he can chew. Got it to the skipper. The skipper loads it up for Shuno. After dropping 2 in a row, the Crows were desperate for a tick in the W column, and that's what they got, but not without a scare from the bottom side.
Unbelievable.
Set shot inside the 50. Jason Tawney got
it. Matthew Clark's 38 hit-outs earned top votes together with McLeod and Goodwin. Edwards and Stengline with 40 possessions between them.
That's it high, there's the 2 men flying.
Skilled Stadium's been kind to the Adelaide Football Club of late, and round 10 was no exception.
A chance for Dowdy, is it on the right foot? He has the Bassett, is it? Bassett stuck down. Bassett stuck down and kicked the big goal. Spriggs gets loose, he gives it
a 5-goal second term, setting up a 17-point final margin, despite a strong comeback from the Cats in the second half.
Can ice this game, can he? He kicks the goal to make it very tough for the Cats from here. Crows go to a 10-point lead.
The coaches recognise the team effort this week with a good spread of votes, topped by the Sarge Ian Perry. 10 kicks and 9 handballs, a good game for Jason Tawney.
A second consecutive week on the road, and the Hawks at the MCG proved too tough to handle. Simon Goodwin's collision with the fence didn't help. He would fracture his wrist, making a bad day even worse for the Crows, who dropped this one by 5 points.
Last roll of the dice time for Adelaide. Handball to Massey. They're away through the middle. It's 1-on-1 inside 50. Dixon's read it off the boot. Still alive for Smart. Burns through. Oh, a goal-saving tackle. It's still there for McGregor, and he kicks the goal. It's not over yet.
A disappointing result, McGregor the shining light moving up forward for 3 goals. Massey with plenty of time now, lifts the eyes. The target is Perry, and that's a strong mark. And Neat made him earn it twice, 3 times.
Melbourne at Amy Stadium was much more to the Crows' liking. Ian Perry slamming home 6, as the home side were never threatened by the D's. 12 goals the eventual margin, Adelaide back to their very best form.
Dowdy, play on, advantage paid, it goes over to the Birdman. He strolls to about 40 metres out, and he has kicked his third. Perry 6 giving him a share of the top votes, together with the Birdman, Brett Burton, and the Roo. Nathan Bassett, Bickley and Begley all in the votes. As we take a look at the leaderboard after round 12, and Mark Bickley had already made it fairly clear that he wasn't going on in season 2004, but at about this stage of his career, people were certainly wishing he would. He leads by 7 points over Andy McLeod, Mark Prosciutto. Ian Perry, the big mover, moving up to 5th position, and he came from about 15th. In fact, no, that is not Perry. I apologise. No, it is Perry. I'm right. He's gone from 15th to 5th. And Matthew Clark also moving up into 6th position there. And we look, McGregor, also a big mover. John Cock on 46, had a great season. Matthew Bode starting to go a little bit quiet there. Bassett, Smart and Carey down the bottom. So there you have it. After round 12, it is Mark Bickley leading by 7 votes. We'll take a break. You're watching the Crows Club Champion presentation live from Amy Stadium.
Yay! 7:30 Saturday, the original classic Crocodile Dundee.
Out of the way, Dobie.
Then 8:30 Sunday, the premiere of Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Heart of Crocfest from 7:30 Saturday on 9.
I'll have a Dolmio pasta pack. I think it's at the back.
Now, this long weekend at Designer, not everything's half price. Half price.
And Saturday only.
Saturday only.
1,000 quilt cover sets half price, 1,000 sheets half price, 1,000 quilts half price, 1,000 pillows half price, 1,000 towels half price.
Saturday, we'll be busy at Designer.
$40 beach towels, $9.95. $40 bathrobes, $19.95. $70 quilt cover sets, $19.95. $150 blankets, $19.95.
Saturday, we'll be busy at Designer.
You won't get much of a trade-in on this, but you'll get a big trade-in on any of these. Trade and save at Radio Rental and Homeco. Get $100 trade-in when you buy or rent a new TV. Get $100 trade-in when you rent or buy any new suite. Get $100 trade-in when you rent or buy any new fridge, freezer or dishwasher. Get $100 trade-in when you buy or rent a new ensemble. And get $100 trade-in when you rent or buy any new washer or dryer. But be quick, you can only trade and save for a limited time. Now that's big!
Physical, fast, technically brilliant. The Age of Beauty is extreme with breathtaking choreography. Winner of 3 Australian Dance Awards. ADT is Australia's hottest contemporary dance company. The Age of Beauty, on now at the Scott Theatre.
This woman just bought a house in South Australia. Strangely, she didn't talk to Bank SA about her home loan.
Things are bad. Things are real bad. This weekend, I'm virtually giving everything away. Every rug. 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 Probably the biggest forced sale of rugs ever seen in Adelaide. Probably the biggest forced sale of beds and mattresses ever seen in Adelaide. Every bed. Every bed. Every mattress. Every mattress. Every lounge. Every lounge. Every lounge. Manton Street, Hindmarsh. This weekend, I'm virtually giving everything away.
How do I make my next mission possible?
With these Accent roller kits from $8.95, plus this Safety First extension ladder, $99, plus 6 litres of Accent paint for the price of 4. That's 50% free. That's 10 out of 10.
And you can't beat 10 out of 10.
Mitre 10. Catalogue out now.
G'day, Leighton Hewitt here. When you start your career, you never know how things will pan out. From humble beginnings in 1991, the career of the bloke we call Bex has panned out very well. Mark started his career at Solomon Town in Port Pirie before making the trip down the highway to SNFL club South Adelaide. The pundits thought they were seeing a nuggety, fair-to-good league player.
Yeah, Mark Bickley, we played our AFL debuts together at Windy Hill. There was 2 of us on the interchange. There was Bix here and myself here. I know Tony McGuinness went off early with a corky, and we both looked at each other to see who coins he was going to put on first, and it was me. And that was about the only time I'd ever be put ahead of Mark Bickley, other than the fact that he keeps telling me my bum's bigger than his. Mark Bickley and the Crows, look, they just go hand in hand, don't they?
Since then, Mark has gone on to play 272 games. He's a 2-time premiership captain, and he's won the respect and admiration of all Crow supporters for his courage and professional attitude to the game, both on and off the field.
He only just scraped into the initial squad, but very soon we realised that he was one player who, every time he went on the track, he gave 100%.
Defence, headed by a good shepherd and a good smother.
He's been really successful, which is fantastic. He's got the best out of himself, but he's always done it for the team. And that really epitomises what Mark Bickley's all about. And to his credit, he's got the success that he richly deserves.
Shrugs Bickley. That's tough to do. You can do it once, but you can't do it twice. One of the greats of the Crows. What a player he's been. 272 games.
Mark Bickley has been a strong, fearless leader of the Adelaide Football Club through good times and bad. And Mark, on behalf of the Adelaide Football Club and all its supporters, congratulations and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me now, Mark Bickley. Mark, you lead the club champion voting at the moment. You've had some wonderful things said by the best tennis player in the world. You've had a marvellous applause from the Crow supporters. Is there any sort of kindle in that flame at all, Bix?
Not at all, Ken. If you, all the astute followers of football realise I probably won't poll again for the year, unfortunately, but it was very nice of Leighton to say those things, and no, look, he was giving me some tips on my backhand the other week too, so...
Is it working?
No, I haven't played much since then, but I look forward to playing anyway.
Bix, being the boy from Port Pirie, how would you describe your journey with the Adelaide Football Club?
Oh, really, it's probably gone beyond all my expectations. I think at the start, when I was a younger fella, you really just wanted to be included in the list, and then you wanted to play a game, and then it's just sort of snowballed from there, really. And it's one of those things when you get a taste of something and you really enjoy doing it. It's amazing, you know, what you're prepared to do to maintain your spot. So that's pretty much what it's been for me. And look, I've just enjoyed every minute that I've been at the club, and yeah, it's just really, it's been a fairy tale. Obviously, winning the 2 premierships are something that you can look back on with an enormous amount of pride, but at the end of the day, it's just, yeah, gone well above what I thought might happen when I first pulled a boot on in 1991.
And Mark, would it be fair to say that you've probably played as good a football in the last 4 or 5 years as you have right throughout your career?
Yeah, look, I've been very lucky. I think sometimes as players get older that the coaching staff and people would like to pigeonhole them and maybe you know, give them a lesser role around the club, but look, I've been very fortunate that both Gary and the coaching staff have felt fit and felt confident enough in giving me the opportunity to continue playing in the midfield, which is pretty demanding, and certainly in a lot of ways tailoring a position for me by coming on and off the bench and doing that role has enabled me to probably play, you know, a couple more years than what I would have perhaps at a lot of other clubs.
What about your family in closing? Max and Bab's mum and dad, and your lovely wife Tanya?
Yeah, look, they've been fantastic, and you can probably put Tan's mum and dad in there as well, Margaret and Rod. Fantastic as far as providing a support mechanism for you, and look, I'm lucky because I get out and play the game and have all the enjoyment and get all the adulation, whereas these guys work really hard behind the scenes, and you know, I suppose they just look on with a lot of pride, I suspect. So, no, look, I've been very fortunate, and you know, without them, couldn't have done it, obviously.
Ladies and gentlemen, absolute champion, Mark Bickley.
Thanks, Ken, and well done, Bix, on a sensational career. Okay, earlier this evening, the Emerging Talent Award was presented, and that went to Brent Riley. And Brent is now with James Brayshaw.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Kim. We were going to actually speak for about 5 minutes, Brent, but Mark Bickley wouldn't shut up, so we're down to about a minute. Congratulations on the award and a terrific year.
Yes, good development year for myself, even though I broke my collarbone start of the year. But that was a bit of disappointment, but it's good to get back in the side and play my first finals game.
What was the thing that really opened your eyes about playing AFL footy? What was the hardest bit about it?
Probably the intensity of it. A lot of big blokes running around trying to kill you, and but no, I got used to it pretty quickly, and yeah, all the boys have been a good help to me.
Living here in Adelaide, no problems with that?
No, I live with Chris Massey. He's a good roommate. Mass over there. Thanks, mate. No, he's been great to me, and yeah, I can't explain. It's a fabulous place to live, and hopefully I can stay for much longer.
What about things on the partner front for you, Brent? Enjoying ladies' company, or are you freewheeling just as we speak?
No, I'm a free agent, mate.
Well, anyone watching tonight, I reckon you might be a chance a little later on, big boy. Very nice to be speaking to you. Congratulations again as we head back to Kim.
Well done to Brent. Beautifully done, James. Okay, after 12 rounds, Mark Bickley is leading the count by 7 votes as we take a look at the highlights from round 13 to 16.
Lappin has a bounce. Over to McKay. The handball is ordinary. He kept going. Lappin and he fell over again. What's he got? Skates on. Here's McLeod. McLeod could punish. He usually does. And he absolutely spanks him. Goal!
Another big win, this time against the Blues at Optus Oval, saw the Crows jump into the top 4. Shocking conditions and a pretty ordinary opponent, but a 42-point win nonetheless, and the second half of the season was looking promising.
Right on 50, kick on the way. That is beautiful! 40 points, three-quarter time lead to the Crows, and they're excited.
Burton still in good form with 34 touches. John Cock up there with 5 goals, and Chris Massey getting votes against his old club. Brett Biglan's dominated the rucks with 35 hit-outs. Laddams kicked 2 goals.
The overlap run from Bowden.
At home again, and this time the Tigers were no match for a slick and highly skilled Adelaide outfit.
Bassett in best position. To Cameron. Across the ground. To a 2-on-1. And the one wins.
The game never rose to any great heights, but a win's a win, and this one made it 3 in a row for the first time in 2003.
First touch for the night for Jason Tawney against his old side. Bassett, handball to Bickley from 40 to put the icing on the cake. That rubbed salt into the wound.
The hound dog Nathan Bassett to stand out. Massey again in form. Edwards and Rashudo continue to gather votes. And a long list of 17 players getting the nod from the coaches for a tough win.
Rashudo from fullback brings it outside the 50. Biglan's good strong mark. Pushed Hill out of the way.
Make that 4 in a row after the Crows weathered the storm, literally, on a Friday night against the Bombers. Scott Welsh putting on a goal-kicking display in ordinary conditions, his 6 making him clearly the best forward on the ground.
Biglan's, Burton leaping high, Bickley kicks inside the 50, Fletcher fumbled, Burns tunneled it, Welsh turns around and kicks his body. The biggest haul of his career.
Something familiar about the top vote getters in recent weeks, Burton and Rashudo collecting nearly 60 touches. Scotty Welsh on target with 6. Laddams also a contributor with 18 possessions.
This is Henschel, the first-year player, showing good poise there, and not a bad kick too. It's a beautiful kick. The 2 first-year players hooking up. It's an illustrious club. Can Brent Rutten join it? First kick in league, 40's a goal.
The first of 2 trips west, and the House of Pain proved to be exactly that for Gary Ayres and his men. After absorbing an 8-goal second term from Fremantle, the Crows again controlled the game, only to lose by a point after leading in the last minute.
35 possessions were enough to give Rashudo the nod, together with 4 goals to Brett Burton, 3 goals to Ronnie Burns, and single votes to the rest in a disappointing result. Let's take a look at the leaders board now after round 16, and we do have a new leader, Mark Rashudo, moving from 3rd position up the top, followed by Bickley, McLeod, Edwards, Stengline. Graham Johncock, a big mover there, going from 10th to 6th position. Bassett, McGregor, Massey, And as we look at the other page, a few dropping down there. Perry's gone from 5th to 12th. Matthew Clark's gone from 6th to 13th. Sure, he'll fight back. We look at Ronnie Burns down the bottom there as well. OK, let's go back to James Brayshaw, who's with last year's club champion, Benny Hart.
Yes, thanks for that, Kimbo. I had to get to the second page to stumble across you, Benjamin. Just eased off a little there.
Yeah, around there somewhere, but nowhere near the guys that are polling beautifully tonight.
Not with the gold jacket on. I like the way it clashes with the red hair. You're not going to just wear that tonight?
It's probably the main reason, apart from knowing I was going to speak to you, and I don't know about yourself.
Now, you heard from Mark Bickley before, just retired after a beautiful 270 games. Yourself, just pushing on to 400?
Not really sure. I've got another year next year, so we'll see how we go after that. But look, a fantastic career from Mark, and if I can pass him in the first couple of rounds, it'll be nice.
Might just slide across and speak to your beautiful wife, Naomi, here, who's just parked next to me. Naomi, I mentioned that the great man here to my left might push on to 400. Are you happy to keep the home fires burning while he plays for another 17 years?
Of course, I'll support him all the way, James.
What about last year's speech? Have you managed to get yourself over that yet? Have you got that on VHS and just keep hitting the rewind button?
I do, because he's never backed it up again, so...
You're a superstar, Naomi. You are too, Ben Hart. We're going to go to a break, back with plenty more after this.
Sunday, a postcard special from the spectacular West Coast. We'll explore South Australia's own Great Ocean Road, the Flinders Highway, experience Port Lincoln's seafaring pass, and swim with the locals at Bear Bay. That's a postcard special from the West Coast, Sunday on 9.
Go one better this season at Sports Power for our spring winter savings. Asics tray shoes only $80, save $40. Adidas pants $40, save $20. Adidas t-shirts assorted colours $15. Jim Fitballs, Jim Bradley boxing bag in store now at special low prices. You could also win a signed Leighton Hewitt Yonex tennis racket simply by purchasing any selected Yonex racket. Come in and visit any one of our 14 stores for our spring winter savings. Sports Power, go one better. Catalogue out now.
All I want is to keep my head down and get square.
Catch your fever and I'll chop your nuts off and we'll watch you grate them over a sudden knee swells, all right?
Folks like you and me, we don't get square.
I'm not smart enough and I only went to junior at school.
Get in square. Advanced previews at participating cinemas.
Forced eviction. Shut it down in 3 days.
So every Goodyear rug store must now go to minimum 60, right up to 91% off.
Plus an extra 5% off for cash. 3 days to eviction.
Everybody's talking about it.
I had 3 super funds going. Crazy. I put it all into Statewide. Much cheaper to manage.
Super's definitely a long-term investment. That's why I chose Statewide. They're real professionals.
At Statewide, I can easily change investment options that suit me best.
Well, I changed jobs, but my Statewide Super came with me.
Well, Statewide's a South Australian-based fund, and I reckon that's really important.
Statewide Superannuation Trust. Your key to super you can trust.
Aerial skiing is pretty dangerous. I've broken collarbones, cracked ribs, and had 9 concussions. But thankfully, it's easy to take care of my teeth because chewing extra helps protect teeth against decay. It's a little extra care for healthy teeth.
Excuse me, you're about to print on a fold line, so I'd probably add a little more space between the central letters. And a bit more colour there would be nice.
Whatever the print job, Snap does more.
At Coles, we've made saving easy. Just look for the yellow everyday low price tickets and you'll find everything at a great price. Like Omo 1.5 kilo washing powder. Outstanding results and great value at just $6.83 each. You'll save every day when you shop at Coles.
8:30 Monday.
Tony Casa, what a star he was.
Now a Sale of the Century champ takes the hot seat.
Do you want to just start off at $64,000?
And what could be a massive millionaire.
I reckon he can win some big money, don't you? We'll see.
8:30 Monday on 9.
this evening. Mark Rasciuto receiving the Best Team Man award. He's had a magnificent year, and Mark is with James Brayshaw as we speak.
Thanks very much for that, Kimbo. A very, very special guest tonight. The Brownlow medalist, Mark Rasciuto. You're just as happy as a fat spider.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks. I've been lucky enough to be in hospital for a few days to dry out, so I'm ready to go again tonight.
Just going to say that you're easing a bit more of the sponsor's product down. It's been a heavy session for you.
Yeah, we had a good couple of weeks after what was a disappointing finish to the season, so you've always got to have a few beers and relax after whatever year you have, and we certainly did that.
You've played injured almost all your career. It's quite an astounding achievement. You had groins that were separated. You had bits of stuff left in there. You've had ankles broken. You've had arms broken. And you've never left the field once. What a sensational performance.
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty tough guy, aren't I? Sounding from that. But no, I've only really had the groin injury was the only one I've really had to play with that gave me a bit of trouble in '97. The ankles this year caused me a bit of... certainly allowed me to play the season through, so just a bit of a clean-up now, which should allow me to get through next year unscathed.
All right, just as we let you go there, Roo, we're going to focus on the footwear you've attended tonight's beautiful evening with. Just the Birkenstocks with... is this a new look?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Axel Beers for the Birkenstocks, proud sponsors of my shoes tonight. So, I usually dress a bit better than this, but that's all I could come up with tonight.
As we go, how long until you're back up and fully firing?
So, do a bit of gym work over in Las Vegas with Goody and the boys. So I'm sure we'll be training pretty hard over there.
All right, Kimbo, that's Mark Rasciuto covered. Back to you.
Thanks, James. And Roo, Mark Rasciuto, two-time winner of the Best Team Man Award, of course, winning it way back in 1994. OK, we're at the business end of the count now as we look at the highlights from round 17 to 20.
Big one's winning it down. The Saints at Amy Stadium were no match for the Crows in round 17. Graham Johncock booted 6. The pain of the defeat earlier in the season erased with a 57-point thumping. The Crows back in the top 4 at round's end.
Gets a handball back over to McLeod, goes back through traffic, finds a little bit of space, and he finds Johncock as well. Done by experience. Johncock, straight away, he knew it, and he loved it the moment it hit the top of his foot.
Graham Johncock, 6 goals, shared top honours with Brett Burton's 30 possessions and Mark Rasciuto's 33. And in the second line of voting, Perry kicked 3 goals, McLeod kicked 2.
Now Robert Thompson running the Swans' way, goes inside 50 and smart. Finally, the Crows prevail in a close one. Sydney proving to everyone what a good side they were, getting to within a kick in the last minute. But the home side hung tough. Nigel Smart celebrating his testimonial match with a 4-point win that saw Adelaide move to second on the AFL ladder.
Wayne Carey rewarded for his big game, Edwards and Bickley and McLeod showing consistent form. And Shirley and Stengline ahead of Perry and Tawney.
Deathly silence when you kick that. Not one interstate team had won at Subiaco all season until the Crows did in round 19, defeating the West Coast Eagles by 24 points.
Pass over the top, 3 to Johncock, goal within 15 seconds.
The win consolidating Adelaide's spot in the top 2.
Save it up. Rasciuto gets it back from Burns, and from 50 can really make them pay, and he does. So much for the counter-punch. They were left wide open, and Rasciuto landed the knockout blow.
Graham Johncock again in the votes with 4 goals. Shirley's best game of the season gets votes. Kerry and Burns each with 3 goals. And Mark Bickley and Andrew McLeod up among the best.
Lemon to himself. Collingwood at the Telstra Dome on a Friday night, and it was all bad for the visitors. 37 points, the Crows' biggest loss for the season so far, and it meant they would need another win to secure a spot in the top 4.
About 60 metres out, chips it towards the pocket, well wide and ball in the air. Career high 39 against Collingwood, round 14, 2002. Edwards digs it out of the middle, goes to Begley. Begley from 53. Oh, this is interesting. He's kicked the goal on the run. James Begley.
Nigel Smart, easily the best player in a rough day of footy. Tawney scoring votes and a goal.
As we check out the leaderboard once more after round 20, and you'll find Mark Rasciuto still leading from Tyson Edwards, who's moved up from 4th position. Mark Bickley dropping down to 4th position from 2nd. Graham Johncock there in 5th. And Matthew Clark, a big mover from 13th up to 9th position. Chrissy Laddams there going from 14 to 11. And we see Perry, Ben Hart, last year's winner, in 13th position, and Nigel Smart there in 14th position. And talking of Nigel, will he or won't he? Let's go to James Brayshaw.
Played a ripping game in that one you just mentioned, Kim, against the Collingwood Football Club. He's here with me. One of the legends of the Adelaide Football Club. Beautifully polished top of the scone there as well. Now, Nigel, you've got some great news quite seriously here for Adelaide Crows fans.
I will be playing on. That is the question that everyone wants to know.
Now, your great friend Mark Bickley decided to hang the boots up. There was questions as to whether you would as well. What was the process before deciding to play again?
I think you just need to step back from it all and find out what challenges you as an individual and work out how you went during the year and what you can commit for next season. So I think the club needs to take another step, and I'd like to be part of that process.
You're going to speak to Gary about perhaps giving you some easier tasks next year. I saw he slapped you on Chris Tarrant and Alistair Lynch and people like that. Anything easier, something further up the ground maybe?
Not really. I like those challenges. They bring the best out of me, and it'd be nice to carry that on. But by the voting and the way I'm going the club champion, maybe I should go up the ground.
All right, it's a long season. You've managed to get through, what is this, your 12th or 13th? What are you going to do for the next month or so?
Run more. Okay, that's how the AFL is changing. It's turning into a running game, and really, if you want to be up there with the best, you have to just get your body and your mind around it, and that means plenty of running.
Well, as a big fan of yours personally, but I'm sure everyone watching is, we're delighted to hear that you're going to soldier on again next year, Nigel. Congratulations. Great chatting to you. As we go to the break, we're going to take a look at some of the big hits for season 2003.
He is down.
Go one better this season at Sports Power for our spring winter savings. Adidas t-shirts assorted colours, $15. Adidas pants, $40, save $20. Cricket and tennis gear in-store now at special low prices. Sports Power, go one better. Catalogue out now.
Better to beach in your own backyard.
Oh, look at that! This is cool.
Do you need your water tested?
Yeah.
The crew here really cuts it.
Oh, Nick.
Oh, Katie. See, you didn't believe me, did you? Clark rubber is more than just foam and rubber.
I didn't get one of those rubber thingies. I'm going back in.
Hi, welcome to Tavern Drive-Through Liquor.
Hi, Benny. Hey, can you help me? I've got a party coming up.
Oh, easy. We've got West End Draft or Cooper's Pale Ale with a free Cooper's cap. Oh, and there's a sensational deal on Crownies.
Sounds good, Benny.
How about some Yellow Glen? Great for parties. Or Bundy and Cola or Johnny Walker Red and Cola. Oh, and how's this for Johnny Walker bottles?
Thanks, Benny.
Hey, you're welcome.
Tavern Drive-Through Liquor. You're welcome.
I solve at the living room. I solve at the floorboard. We solve at the kennel. Whatever
you want to paint or decorate, visit a Solver Decorator Centre and we'll help you solver it.
Wait for it, wait for it. This Saturday, thousands of dollars of furniture will be sold at half price. Bedding will be sold at half price. Carpet and rugs will be sold at half price. This Saturday only. Look on you.
Love it at Look on you. Hey, did you hear about the new white M&Ms?
White?
Yeah, colored on the outside, but white on the inside.
How do I know you're not a white M&M?
Now available in white chocolate.
Congratulations! Now that you've seen these beautiful diamond rings, you're halfway to winning one, thanks to Channel 9 and Shield. Look at your watch. What time is it? And what show are you watching right now? Now fill in one of these Shield's entry forms and you could win one of these fabulous rings. Grab your entry form from any Shield store. It's that easy. If you're the first correct entry each week, then you're our diamond winner. Grab your entry form from any Shield store and hoo-wah!
Monday, the secret's out.
You like Joey?
And guest star John Stamos
I want this guy's jeans for my kid.
gets more than he bargained for.
This is it? Yeah.
Oh my God, we're going to be parents.
All new Friends Monday on 9.
The boys are back. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Beautiful.
The all-action blockbuster Lethal Weapon 4. Coming up next.
Further afield, Rashudo now can build. Stevens coming at him, out in front of McIntosh. No one there now for West Coast. Here comes McLeod. He's third. Bang, bang, bang.
Wakeland. Here's Burns. Swings over the left. And tip of the goal. Does well to get boot to ball. Tip of the goal square. Off the ground. Carey's got another one. Just trying to work it forward. Goodwin. Edwards. Quick hands. Again, Gallagher to Goodwin. Possession number 8 already for Simon Goodwin. And the first goal of the night. He has started brilliant. 7.5 minutes remaining. Brown's on the ball. The Cloud comes in, picks up the ball. Shot on goal. To put the Clouds in front. They are there.
Plenty of numbers here for the Bombers. Jacobs couldn't hold the mark though. Perry flicks it out. There's a chance for Ronnie Burns. Finds a bit of space. Back onto his left foot. He has a blind shot for goal. He's got it through. Ronnie Burns.
Harvey out wide, dangerous. Johncock for number 4. Back again to 1-2. Can he kick the goal? He goes for it. Left foot kick. It sails. It's almost his. It's the Kings. The Kings supreme. Share it around and get it to Burns into the middle. Tawney cut off. No, it's back to Tawney. And that's pretty much summed up West Coast afternoon. They will run it and run it at goal. They're all starting to share it. Riley right on the siren. 4 points. Adelaide in front, inside 50 now. Carey, here's danger. Carey from the pocket. Don't tell me. Oh, Goldie! Oh, that's the goal of the year! What a ripper! Centre half forward, Johncock snuck behind the defence. If it sits for him, he can get away from Sirakoski. Just burns him off with speed. Runs to 20 metres out. Goes for that is an absolute beauty! Little bit of goal-kicking magic there, and earlier this evening the Premiership Club leading goal kicker was awarded to Graham Johncock. Young Stiffy kicking a massive 30 goals for the season, and Graham is now with James Brayshaw.
Beautifully done, and congratulations go to you, Stiffy. Very nice award winning there. The smallest man ever to win the goal-kicking award for the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, no, I was pretty surprised with it, actually. I suppose it's good to get my name up with the likes of Darren Jarman and Tony Modra and these sort of guys. I suppose pretty grateful for it. It's good.
Just chatting to a couple of the big key forwards earlier, and they reckon you don't give them enough credit for the work they do to help you kick the sausages.
Yeah, I suppose I've been getting a bit of stick over it lately, but nonetheless, I suppose it's good to probably beat the likes of Wayne Carey and these sort of guys for it, so I'm happy for it.
Now, what's happening with you in the next month or so? Heading to Sydney?
I'm still tossing up whether to go bush up to Nullarbor or to go to Sydney, so I'm still deciding at the moment. A couple more, bit of thought over the weekend, see how we go.
As we go back to Kim, are you going to take the full forward spot next year and make it official?
No, I'll see how we go because now that Mark's retired, there's available up there up in the midfield. So see how we go. I'll probably be looking forward to a good pre-season and hopefully get up in the midfield. So looking forward to it.
Graham Johncock, one of the stars of the Adelaide forward line. We're going to go back right now to Kim Byrne.
Thanks very much, James. Let's take a look at that leaderboard one more time after round 20. Mark Rasciuto leading on 134 votes, followed by Tyson Edwards sneaking up there on 116. Andy McLeod, 109. Mark Bickley, the evergreen Mark Bickley, on 108. John Cox, Stengline, McGregor, Burton and Matthew Clark in 9th position. We're going to take a look at the highlights of rounds 21 and 22. Bear in mind, in round 22, it was the showdown. Mark Rasciuto polled 1 vote to help him win the Brownlow medal. Let's see how the coaches judged him from Adelaide as we take a look at rounds 21 and 22.
Porter might have won it. Shirley's had a good season. Tagging brilliantly. The hand pass was a beauty too to Goodwin, and Goodwin finishes magnificently.
With second spot and a home final up for grabs, this match against the Kangaroos was to haunt the Adelaide Crows. On a wet afternoon at Amy Stadium, the Roos got up by 10 points. With so much on the line, the coach left lamenting the one that got away.
Inside 50, thanks to a kick from Goodwin. Now Ronnie Burns, left foot snap. Maybe this is the spark they need. That's a beautiful goal for Burns.
Heartbreak for the fans in this one, and the Roo was a lone hand with 34 tough possessions. Carey kicked 3, Burton and Perry 2.
Down passes away to Marcy.
The second showdown of the year, and the result had a familiar ring to it.
Coming back down there, Burton in trouble. The Bode on a tight angle, deep in the pocket. Goes with the right boot. Wonderful kick.
A frustrating 16-point loss to the hometown rivals, and with it went the double chance for the final starting the following week.
Well shot at the pick.
Wayne Carey topped the votes against the Power, together with Bode and Smart and the consistent Tyson Edwards. And Graham Johncock getting votes for 3 goals with Stengline, Shirley and Goodwin.
So Mark Rasciuto only receiving 3 votes from the 4 coaches from Adelaide there. Let's take a look at the voting, how it stands after the completion of the minor round. Rasciuto leading on 149. Let's not forget there's 2 games remaining. The finals do remain. Edwards 125, McLeod 113. Burton down the bottom there with Carey as we turn the page. Nigel Smart, Matthew Clark, Bassett, Laddams, Perry, Hart, Massey, Tawney and Bode. Simon Goodwin there, a quiet season, of course, having that nasty wrist injury with 56 votes. Ronnie Burns, 51. And Mark Stevens also with a lot of injury as well. Doughty on 10. And then we have Rutten and Skipworth. As we now reintroduce the CEO of the Adelaide Football Club, there are 2 games remaining. They are the finals. They will be read out live as we take a look at the elimination final where Adelaide defeated the West Coast Eagles.
Just struggling to move it into their forward zone. Great deception by Smart. Here's another chance for the Crows.
The 3-game losing streak was snapped in the best possible fashion, with Adelaide completely dominating the West Coast Eagles at Amy Stadium. Mark Rasciuto and Simon Goodwin heading up a dominant midfield as the Crows walked home to win by 56 points.
From the elimination final, Edwards 12, Hart 11, Shirley 10, Burns, Carey and Massey 9, Bickley 7, Bassett and Clark 6, Goodwin and Rasciuto 5, 4 votes to Biglands, Smart and Tawney, 3 to Burton, 3 to McLeod, Stevens 2, Bode 1 and Perry 1. And the club's final game of the season was when we took on the Lions at the Gabba.
3 high-quality quarters against the reigning Premier had the whole of Adelaide on the edge of their seats. But the combination of 31-degree heat and an opponent that had too many weapons saw the Crows fall at the final hurdle to go down by 42 points. Season 2003 ended that night at the Gabba, a failure to get their best 18 players on the park at any stage, making this exit a tough one for Crows fans to swallow.
Burton 12, 6 votes to Burns and Stevens, Biglands and Rasciuto 5, Shirley 3 and a series of players on 1 vote. Bassett, Bickley, Johncock, Massey, McGregor and McLeod. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the count, and I have, of course, great pleasure in announcing that Mark Rasciuto is the 2003 club champion.
Of course, Mark not quite as nimble as we would normally expect. As Mark now is about to receive the gold jacket from last year's club champion, Ben Hart. I'd now like to call on the chairman of the Adelaide Football Club, Mr. Bob Campbell, to present the Malcolm Blight Medal. And Bob, I'm sure you'd like to congratulate Mark.
Mark, you've been a credit to your family. I'm glad they're here tonight. A credit to the club and a credit to the team for all South Australians. Well done, Mark Rasciuto.
Well, congratulations. It's been a big couple of weeks.
It has been a big couple of weeks. Not that I'd like it any other way. It's been, certainly we went to the Brownlow expecting to have a good night, but it ended up a bit bigger tonight than what we wanted to, or what we thought it was going to be. So, no, as I said, it was a good one.
And you've been at the club for a long time. How do you rate this year in comparison to others? You're now a dual club champion winner, along with Ben Hart and Andrew McLeod.
Like all players, we play for team success, and been lucky enough to play in a premiership in '98. So that's the way you gauge a year. Obviously, as an individual, you can only set out to do so much, and it's been a good year on that front, but certainly was extremely disappointed with the way we finished off the year. I thought we could have done a lot better, and we certainly could have challenged Brisbane with the premiership if things had gone differently, but they didn't, and we'll have a chance to atone for that next year.
Roo, I'm sure there's a few people you'd like to thank. You may have forgotten some after the Brownlow, maybe.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of people that I'd like to thank. I think we're at a pretty lucky football club here in Adelaide, and I think people that have been at the Adelaide Football Club for their whole career can probably take that for granted. I think to have a sponsor like Toyota for the whole time we've been in the competition is extremely lucky. The other sponsors that we've had as well, there's plenty of them. I won't name them individually, but we all know who they are, right down to the Chairman's Club and Vice President's sponsors as well. There's certainly a hell of a lot of people that put in a lot of money into this football club and to make it work. So thank you very much to all of those guys. My teammates, who obviously is what I'm all about. I'm here to be part of a successful team, to win a premiership as a captain is what my dream is for the rest of my career. And the players know that I want nothing more than that, and certainly demand and expect that they put everything into the Adelaide Football Club so that we can hopefully achieve that next year. My family and friends, Mum and Dad are here tonight. They know how much they mean to me. Peter Hurley walked into the room tonight and said, "We got Mum and Dad here," and I said, "That was the easy part. You got to get them home now." So there's certainly been I actually couldn't say enough about how much they've done for me over my life. Things haven't gone to plan necessarily for them on the property, but certainly wouldn't wish to be brought up any other way. It's been a great upbringing to be a successful footballer, to work hard for what you got when you're young, and certainly that's what you need to be a successful AFL footballer. So thanks very much, Mum and Dad. As I said earlier, and as I said on Brownlow night, my friends are a huge part of my life, and I'm extremely lucky to have a lot of friends all over the state, whether it's in Adelaide, in other football clubs, or back at Wakery. I've got a huge band of friends that have helped me so much throughout my career. They all know who they are. Some of them are here tonight, some of them are back at Wakery, and some of them are home in Adelaide. But I play footy just to celebrate with everyone.
And as I said with the Brownlow before, and tonight with the best and fairest, it's exactly the same thing, that we all share in football successes for each other. And hopefully everyone understands that and believes me in that, because that's what I'm all about. So thank you very much for everyone, all my friends out there. I'd just like to finish off with one thing. As I said a couple of times earlier about we finished off in a pretty ordinary way this year. We're sitting second at the end of round 19, and we're going where we wanted to go, and things didn't go to plan. But when we finished the season, there was a bit of talking, mainly from the media, about the fact that we'd have to rebuild, that we're an old squad, that we'd have to change a lot of the people around the club to win a premiership. Well, I've talked to everyone at the club, all the players, the coaches, the administration, everything. And if anyone here believes that, well, they may as well head off now, because the players at the club are heading for premiership next year. We want nothing less. We've got the players, we've got the ability. We're going to improve on a few injuries that we had this year. So hopefully everything will go to plan next year, and we'll certainly be a force to be reckoned with. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. While you do it, could I please ask everyone to be upstanding, grab a glass of Sir James as we propose a toast to the 2003 club champion, Mark Rasciuto. We hope you enjoyed the night. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
The Nine Network invites you to support your state when we test Australia. Show how smart South Australia is to register phone 1300 722 252. You must be available on Tuesday, October 14 between 6:30 and 8:30.